Well, Chris, here we are, buddy. We're standing here with your xforce. This is a 600 HD TNT. And as I was telling Chris, kind of in a bind. He goes, what do you mean? I said, well, the problem is we've got blank transistors in here. Now, no one knows what these are, so we can't cross these with anything. He said this thing's been back a couple times, and I see down here we've got a burnt 10 ohm resistor down there, and the only one transistor that has a burnt resistor is the PP100 that's in here. So we don't know what lot numbers these are, the PP100s, or otherwise we'd be able to replace them, because, well, we've got a massive inventory of parts over here, and I'd be able to pull a cross-reference PP100. Now, I don't know if the reason that it wasn't running right was because they weren't able to cross because they didn't have any reference, but these have not been painted over. They're just blank. We've seen this before. I've even seen them where they have numbers written on the top with Sharpies. I had the PP100 in there with a Sharpie, but not a big deal. He said he wasn't interested in pursuing that. I gave him the price option. I said, man, I'll just put another set of PP, the 15XHs in here if you want. And he says he wasn't interested in that. He's going to go with the other option. He wants to go with Toshiba's. He says he's had enough of that. And I said, okay. He says the other thing is I don't talk sideband. Because I just talk AM and I'm already having a hard time. My headlights are dimming a little bit. And I said, well, if we pull the sideband down, it'll pull about 25 amps less. So when we get said and done, we're going to hit this with a bench 2 pill again, just like we did in the last video. He's got an incredibly high drive radio. It does 200 and something peak watts and like 80 average. So we'll use the 2950 going into the bench 2 pill to get that 200 watts for him, and he should see well over 1,000. Anyhow, guys, I'm going to do my magic. When we come back, the bias is going to be removed. All this gobbledygook on the back is going to be pulled out, and we're going to remove the mystery transistors, pull the dead one out, put some Toshiba's in it, redo the input tune, realign the output tune, make sure it's good, and he'll be off to the races and running. So away we go. I talked to Chris a minute ago, the kid that owns this box. He says to me, I'm eating my 3 a.m. cake, and there is nothing like 3 in the morning cake. I don't care what anybody says. Oh, man, I love food. All right, so the label was falling off the front, so he asked me to print you a new one, so I printed you a new one. There was no TNT logo on there, so I thought, well, it looked a little naked, so I thought that I'd throw that on there, even though you asked me to. I did it too. And then I went in and removed the sideband, he does a different style of switch, 12 volt, utilizing one relay because it's slightly cheaper than just having it on a separate relay switched and isolated from the RF chain. So he uses the blocking ability of capacity to let AC pass by and blocking the DC, but using the relay connections to actually pass the 12 volt onto the bias circuit, which is cool. And it's just one way of doing it. It's worked well for years. But I don't like to touch that AC line, the RF line at all, me personally. Doesn't really hurt anything. AC and DC have been combined together many times to make many, many powerful tube amplifiers. So, yeah, you can knock the RF on or take it off, or add or subtract DC current just by putting a series of caps and using the same circuit to conduct the RF. It doesn't harm anything. I just don't like doing it that way. It's not that I don't understand how, it's I don't want to. So it's called a preferential choice. I rehooked up your input and repolished your input, and then I replaced the mystery blank, and I want to get real close on these and show that they've never even had the idea of anything printed to them. Just mystery transistors completely. I don't understand that. But now you got a matched lot set of 1K 2879 Toshiba's in there, and this sucker's going to run. So let me rehook up the tin, put the lid on, and then we're going to hit it with a little bench 2 pill. We're going to see that go over to about 1300 watts PEP. We're going to get about 300-400 bird out of this thing. We're going to call it a night. So give me just a minute and we'll be back. Okay, Chris, so we're going to hit this thing hard. Now you said that you got a 200 watt radio. let's go around the lap here real quick. 1,000 watt slug, 1,000 watt slug, PEP, average, 5 watt slug in reverse. We're going to put about 100 bird in this thing. About 380 watts PEP. Now we can turn this back. Oh, still got to come back more on that, my gain. Still too much. There we go, 200 watts. We're gonna hit this at 200 watts. Watch what happens. Peak side. Off the scale, right? Audio. Now watch what happens when I sit here and I play with the modulation on this thing. We're pegging this thing in a corner. I'm going to go to peak here in a minute and show you what it's doing for peak power. But look at the average numbers. Hello, audio. Back the mic gain up a little bit. Hello. 380 bird, almost 400 bird. Let's turn the mic all the way back up to max. We're going to go to 2x. So now, as we all know, right there between the 40 and the 60, looking at the lower set of numbers, is the 1,000 watt mark. So every major integer after that is an extra 200 watts. Hello, audio. Hello, audio. There we got our 400 bird. Just like that. One last test, because I don't want to leave it out. You're going to take, you said you had a radio that was built by Stickman. It does like 80 bird. And does about 200 peak. So you'll see well over 1,000 watts out of this box. No problem at all. I'll show you the input tune here real quick. Quick and simple. Input tune, it's a 5 watt slug in reverse that's sitting between the 2950 and your straight 4 pill. Shoot, still getting 400 or 500 watts out of it just with 20 watts of drive. The other thing we did, dude, is I flipped the fan over. So it's going to blow air in and then pressurize the enclosure and then exhaust air out the back. Big fan of that, especially since laws of thermodynamics and flow dynamics and airflow dynamics and everything else state that it's easier to pressurize an enclosure than it is to pull a vacuum upon it. That jets all that cool air right down on top of the components and then wraps across the heatsink, and you get full laminate airflow cooling across the parts instead of just kind of passive cooling as the air is coming from around the heatsink directly into the fan and bypassing the parts. Brother, you're all done. 10-8 straight titties and off to the races and running. Chris, appreciate you sending this thing out. I know it got a little bit confusing there when it got lost in shipping for a minute, but we've got her all figured out. She's squared away, and she's going to be on her way back home to you tomorrow. Appreciate you, man. Have a good night. Gentlemen, my name is BBI. Without a shadow of a doubt, I am the biggest mud duck in Idaho. God, I wish my teacher would get on the air, Mr. Minister. I feel alone out here in the Northwest. Anywho, gentlemen, good night. I'm out of here. I'm going to bed. It is 3:10 in the evening. See you guys. Bye. I don't get to be here without all you guys. Please subscribe.